it felt like an adult version of Chicken Run. Like right about when like the demon just like opened the fucking manhole cover and it's like a human. It just like just put that around where it's just like imagine Chicken Run as they pop the cover off. It's like the fuck are the chickens doing out?
You gotta love to be gone back yet. Love is a dead, don't you grab it.
I was a little bit kind of like on the fence when Big Mom pirates were.
Oh, fuck you! That was like the best thing that happened this arc so far. I love the fact that he brought Big Mom back.
You gotta love to be gone back yet. Love is a dead, don't you grab it.
Welcome to Lobster Magnet and Friends. I'm here with my buddy Zavul and Goro Gregoro.
What's up?
Evening, folks.
Hey, we're back with another One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line. Yayo, yayo.
I hate you so much.
This is chapter...
First of all...
What?
I don't know. Maybe I'll tell you if you promise never to fucking do that again.
What?
I love doing that.
You love it.
Yeah, that's because but you're fucking tone deaf. It's painful.
Then why don't you sing it? You can go sing it.
No, I'm not. You know what? Greg can fucking do it.
All
Greg has no sense of like pride or decency.
Dreamin', don't give it up, Goro.
Dreamin', don't give it up, Zavul.
Die in a fire. Die in a fire. Die in a fucking fire.
All right, so we're talking about chapters 927 through whatever the most recent one it was.
934.
I'm
you're
tired.
Professional here, folks. I promise.
I'm tired. It's been a long week. I got back from my time in the Amazon coal mine. My neck is bugging me. The mind's not working. I'm trying to desperately shill fucking...
Is it like Kaido's prison?
Yes, it's like Kaido's prison. I just got back from Amazon Kaido's prison. Run stuff.
Did you give an old man like some mochi or something like that?
You know what's
Your
really
rations of
fucked
mochi.
up? There are so many parallels to Kaido's stupid fucking slave prison. Like, they haven't done this in a while, but they used to give out, like, swag bucks. Like, you could exchange...
What the fuck are swag bucks? Jesus Christ, is that, like, company script?
No, they're like these little pretend dollars that you can use in the vending machine.
So, yes, it's fucking company script. Jesus Christ.
Why does this sound so much like Kaido's prison?
It's exactly like Kaido's prison.
Jesus Christ, that is depressing.
Dango. I think it's.
that is like that far removed from being as depressing as the fucking pea bag you sent me a picture of. Oh,
in some ways, it's even worse than Kaido's prison.
Kind of. At least they induce you with physical violence in Kaido's prison instead of like oppressive misery.
And we also earn swag bucks for how many packages we stow that we can use for Amazon Kaido merch.
So it's like the Kaido's prison's food tickets.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's basically like that.
Yeah. And like,
can you only use them for the fucking vending machines?
What about the vending machines?
I said, can you only use them for the vending machines?
Yes.
That Amazon also presumably like owns.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
And depending on how hard you work, you get more.
I'm so sorry. That is some bullshit. Jesus Christ. That is. God, the more I hear about the job, the more I just want to fucking kick Jeff Bezos in the nuts.
Well, they scared him out of New York City, so the city came together, and he's not building his headquarters. So, you could say that a little bit like, the Straw Hat Mink Pirate Alliance of real life was able to defy the corporate horde of Kaido and Shogun Orochi. So... That's
something
why,
like that.
Yeah. So normally this would be a little bit more concise. I'd be like, let's talk about this. But because I'm tired and I've also spent a lot of time shilling Wizard World tickets in an attempt for something that will hopefully pay off very well in the next week or two, and you'll see it. You'll know it when you fucking see it. Oh man, it's gonna be good. But all right, anyway, let's talk about some motherfucking One Piece. So, what do you guys think of the courtesan and the thing with the mansion and Orochi? Now that we've seen Orochi, do we like Orochi? You're going to be reminding me a lot of the things that happen, because a lot of Wano just blurs together for me.
I mean, I kind of have the same problem. I literally, almost all of the female characters have that, like, terrible Oda sameness to them, and it's even worse when they're all dressed in traditional Japanese apparel. Now they literally all look the fucking same.
Oh god,
like, the only differences are like the fucking like weird squat female ninja, and and of course Nami, because we can tell what color hair she has.
But then we've got like,
Jesus Christ, I hope when this hits the fucking anime, they fucking change some hair colors around just so we can keep track of who the fuck is who. I am so sick and tired of how many times this fucking chapter and this fucking arc that I've had to like, wait, who the fuck is that? Is that Robin or is that? Wait, okay, now I have to like reread the last 3 panels for context because they all look the goddamn same. Because after the time skip, Oda can't draw anyone that looks different.
Trying to distinguish between Robin and like the super beautiful.
They might as well be the same.
They all look the same. They all fucking look the same.
But you could sort of tell Robin by they draw like 2 lines of the bridge.
Barely, motherfucker. You can barely tell.
Barely. I know. It is kind of awful. Like,
it's fucking miserable.
But really,
I like Shinobu just because of the fact that he gave her like a very like kind of wonky design. And
yes, I can actually tell who the fuck she is when she shows up on the page. I don't have to spend like 10 seconds going, wait, where is she? Is there anyone else around her that can give me context to who the fuck I'm dealing with right now?
But
thank God, it's that fucking female ninja. I know exactly who she is. Fuck. I mean, I fucking dislike her character. She is kind of annoying, but fuck, at least I know who she is. Like immediately on sight. It's like how I used to be like before the time skip, how Robin looked like a different person. Fucking actually tell who the fuck she was, just like by staring at her for less than 10 seconds. Fuck.
Yeah, there's been a lot of just like, who's the what? And even I feel like Goro would be the biggest defender of that, and you'd be like, no, even here in this chapter's like, who's that again?
It's mainly between Robin and the super hot geisha, right?
Because they both have dark hair. At least Nami,
and they're both
immediately look
similarly dressed, right? So
yeah.
Well, they also have like a few like expendable geishas, and you're not quite sure if it's supposed to be.
Oh Jesus Christ, that was miserable. Like we haven't seen them for a while, but Jesus Christ, that was just a clusterfuck. like a couple chapters ago when there were like a bunch of geisha and they were running around and Robin was using her clone ability, that was just an absolute clusterfuck. There was like 5 different geisha and Robin was like popping up clones everywhere, and there was also that the I guess arc important geisha, and it's like everything is just like running around. I'm like, oh fucking Jesus Christ, I don't know who anyone is, and now I can't even like depend on location to give me important clues as to who the fuck is who, because Robin has like at least 2 different versions of herself. I trust nothing. I don't know what the hell is happening, and not in like the good way, like that this arc is just like pulling the wool over my eyes and doing cool plot shit. No, I just don't know who the fuck is who.
You could say that Robin is now actually perfectly disguised and blended into Wano. Her disguise is so good you cannot even tell that it's Robin.
I mean, I would be more okay with that if this was like a Lupin the Third style like heist manga, where like she would just like every 5 pages she just like ripped off a rubber mask.
God, and you know what it also kind of reminds me of? You ever play the Assassin's Creed multiplayer mode?
God, no.
It wasn't great, but basically the way it would work is because, God forbid, there should be like sword fighting. It like revolved around stealth combat. So basically,
yeah, that's because everyone would just be jamming the fucking counter button.
Hey, it would have been much more fun than what we got. And what we got was basically like the way it works is that like there's like a billion different clones of like the player characters that everyone selects. So the idea is that, like, you need to find, you're given a target, and you got to go find your target, and you got to watch the person who acts like, looks like they're acting like a human and not an NPC, but there are, like, billions of characters that all look the same.
Oh, God, that sounds awful.
It wasn't a very fun gameplay mode. People got sick of it pretty quickly.
Oh, God, that sounds fucking terrible.
But, so this is kind of like a living version of that.
By the way, I'm still enjoying Wano Arc. I'm still enjoying this Wano Arc. I was a little bit kind of like on the fence when Big Mom pirates were.
Oh, fuck you! That was like the best thing that happened this arc so far. I love the fact that he brought Big Mom back.
I will say that like I am super excited over that like petty squabbling of who gets the fucking pirates if Big Mom dies.
Yeah.
I'll be honest here. I just want to see like fucking Katakuri just like own face for like 5 chapters and like, okay, all right, I'm the leader of the Big Mom pirates now. You can all eat a dick, and we're gonna be best friends with Luffy because we punched it out and we're cool. We're cool now.
There's a
also I'm gonna be in my room eating donuts for the next 5 chapters. If anyone bothers me, I'll rip their face off.
I wanted Big Mom to have a little bit more resistance to the Petrosaur King thing getting like hitting the ship. Doesn't she have like an elite like army of like devil fruit users that can like pinpoint like, where something is coming from? Like, how could they have all been blindsided by this giant fucking dinosaur?
Look, they just came off of like the most embarrassing defeat in I assume at least 50 years or so. I don't know. So I guess I can kind of forgive them for being a little off their game.
I
am kind of amazed that Big Mom fell victim to the classic bumped your head and now doesn't remember who the fuck you are.
Yeah, that's I mean
plot true.
That's pretty comical.
I personally like the Pterosaur knocking it off just because. Well, here's my logic of why I like that moment. I like the idea that like the Big Mom pirates are like trying to climb up this incredibly impossible physical obstacle, and there's this one perfect moment where they're completely vulnerable, and then the guy just gives them a little nudge, and that's enough to send them. I like that element.
It's just that the fact that we just came from Big Mom's, like the Big Mom arc, right? The Whole Cake Island arc, and we saw like how incredibly badass her whole family is of devil fruit users. They're like capable of fending off like all kinds of attacks from Luffy's crew and the cannon barrages and whatnot, and just a random ass flying dinosaur just knocking off the ship and knocking Big Mom off the ship. Like, you'd think like some of the devil fruit users would have been able to catch Big Mom from flying off, or like
I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. Just fuck it. Just fuck it. Fuck it.
I enjoyed that moment. The funniest thing is like the things that I like the most in Wano are like all the things that aren't from Wano. Like I don't like any of the Wano specific characters. I don't like any of.
Hey, fuck you. There is a very important part of Wano that I love to death.
The punching lion.
And that is this. Yes, the punching fucking lion and the goddamn hippo smile user. They are the best parts of this entire fucking arc. I want them to have like a fucking cover story arc when they like when all this shit like blows over and Kaido shit's in ruin or whatever the fuck is happening. I just want them to have their own fucking cover story arc about that fucking hippo and the dude with the crotch punching lion head. and how they keep like almost succeeding at everything they do, but are foiled by their own fucking weird animal monster things.
And then suddenly somehow find their way into Buggy's circus crew.
Yes. God, yes.
For me, my favorite things are, like, you know, I like Drake, what little we've seen of him. I really like what we've seen of Hawkins. He seems like the most competent antagonist, quasi-villain yet. I love the Eustace Kid Luffy stuff. I wish we got more of that. And of course, I love the fact that Big Mom is here in some capacity, and she's like this great wild card that the Straw Hats now can employ against Kaido.
For now,
potentially. But, you know, oh man, you know what I really fucking hate, but not in a good way? Orochi, the evil shogun.
Yeah, we need to talk about that character.
He's
very
fucking
generic. Very generic.
Jesus,
villain.
he's so bad. Like I just like he's like that weird fat slovenly douchebag character that you'd expect out of like the first 50 chapters of any long running shonen series that's literally just there to get his dick punched and then shuffle off the screen, never to be heard of again.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting a lot of Horty Jones syndrome, where it's like, you know...
Oh, he's worse than Horty Jones. At least Horty Jones, like, looked menacing.
He does have
Even as a Hydra, this guy kind of looks like a schmuck.
I thought the Hydra was somewhat cool, but...
Somewhat. It's cooler than his original form, which is really not saying much.
What about the fact that he was like making like such big demands from CP0? Like, doesn't
that makes it worse? It's like, first of all,
it doesn't make him more threatening.
No,
a little bit.
No,
I mean, he is a generic design. He just feels generic.
I mean,
but
it just feels like he's like playing Super King Big Nuts because he knows he can go whine to Kaido, and everyone's fucking terrified of Kaido.
He makes everything worse around him, because it's like you wonder what does Kaido get out of like listening to anything this guy has to say? What leverage does he have? Kaido should just kill him and run everything. Is he you know, does he not want to deal with that? Does he think it's easier to have this schmuck handle shit? Like, why?
Honestly, I kind of assume so. Like, I kind of assume that Kaido's entire job is getting drunk and then punching things. He's like Luffy if Luffy was evil. I mean, I guess Blackbeard is Luffy if Luffy was evil, but you get the idea. Is like he doesn't really give a fuck about running the day-to-day. All he cares about is getting really fucking trashed.
If you think about it, like, maybe Kaido, he doesn't want the responsibility to rule. He wants to have the freedom to, you know,
we don't
go around
know anything, and that's one of the things that's driving me insane. Is like, I'm like begging Oda, please give me a backstory, give me a motivation, give me something to latch on to make me like Kaido as much as I like Big Mom. You know,
like even Big Mom was kind of teased a little bit, and in kind of cool ways. Like all we got from Kaido is he jumped off a fucking sky island and didn't die.
That was a great.
Like Big Mom, it's like was threatened.
So, yeah,
but like Big Mom was threatening. She did stuff. She's like protecting Fishman Island, and she eats kinds of weird shit, and she has like weird minions.
Kaido's also part of the underground black market arms trade.
But like,
I know. But you never actually see him do anything aside from drink and punch shit.
He seems like a drunk rock star who wants to kill himself. And
like honestly, he feels like a drunk longshoreman that accidentally stumbled into a CEO position.
yeah, that's exactly how I imagined.
Which again, kind of like, I know this will never actually be the case, but for me personally, I kind of imagine that Kaido's entire backstory was like his entire goal in life was like, I'm gonna be the best longshoreman ever, and then he got drunk one night and got into a bar fight, and there was a bounty on his head, so he had to like leave his home island, and then like because he was depressed, he like got drunk on the ship he was on, and then like blacked out and woke up again, and like apparently he like killed the captain, and the rest of the crew was terrified of him. So now he's a fucking pirate captain. Like he gets into the port, like okay, I'm just gonna leave the ship behind. I'm in a new place. Nobody has to know anything. I'm gonna celebrate. Gets drunk, and apparently just like murders an entire marine garrison. And now he has an even bigger bounty on his head. So he has to get back on the fucking ship, and now he's got like a whole bunch of fucking roughnecks that kind of like follow him around. So like basically his entire career is just one long series of mistakes fueled by drunken benders where just he gets completely shit-faced and wakes up and he's killed someone even more powerful, upped his bounty, and apparently upped his prestige and the amount of stuff he controls. And he just doesn't want any of it.
Well, an interesting wrinkle I think we learned this chapter is the fact that apparently Kaido and Big Mom were crewmates on some ship. Hopefully it's not...
What?
Yeah.
Wait, where was that?
So they said they were allies. I didn't see crewmates.
The translation I saw said crewmates.
Huh.
Really?
Okay. Which let me see here.
What crew was that?
That's the big question. Were they with Gold Roger? Remember, they introduced something back in the whatchamacallit, during the Reverie arc, where they said that like there was these legendary Rocks pirates. So possibly, maybe they were with the Rocks pirates.
Which page was that? Let me see.
I'd show you, but then I would ruin the stream by showing the page.
Yes, just tell me which page it is.
I don't know.
I have the chapter pulled up.
Like I literally can't.
Yeah. Well,
it'll fuck up the OBS.
Fucking goddamned.
Yeah, he has to.
Okay.
He has to have it in a specific way.
Find this.
Maybe I'll show it to you, and maybe I'll cut out the section where. But man, guys, did you hear how much Jump Forces sucks?
Yeah,
I heard something about that. Yeah. Why? Why is it suck?
A bunch of reasons. It's got a shitty story mode, not very deep combat that seems to use the, Naruto Ninja Storm.
Okay.
Mechanic.
All right, hold on.
I hate that.
Which translation are you using?
I think Manga Stream.
Okay. Okay, because I'm using Manga Reader. And their translation is they may have been allies once in the past. So not entirely sure, because we're basically getting fan translations here. So
yeah,
who fucking knows?
This is chapter 934, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 934. It's page 4.
Oh yeah, 1 second. So on page 4 it says. All right, they say they may have been allies in the past, but they're both Yanko enemy. Fuck it. Somewhere they said that they were crewmates.
I don't remember that.
I don't fucking know. Okay, I also want to talk about Snatch. Did you get a different translation for that too?
I thought it was snack.
No, it's Snatch.
Oh, you shouldn't say the word snatch?
Oh, I think maybe it could be like an obscure female body part reference.
Yeah, is he literally just yelling cunt?
Yeah,
I feel like
that's kind of what I got.
Like that feels really out of character for Zoro.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I can't imagine that was like I don't know. I thought that was like I have no way to explain it.
I just like that was like my immediate guess. Like, is he just calling people cunts now? What the fuck is this?
Maybe that's like different.
Like that
context.
this is yeah. There has to be context I'm missing, and it's really weird. Like I assume it's going to be somebody's name or maybe an organization or something.
Well, maybe it's like a kendo thing or something that they learned from his dojo.
I don't fucking
know.
know.
What we can do is once Viz releases the official translation, we can check that because you can still view that on the site. Those motherfuckers still don't do the same day as Japan. which pisses me off. I'm like all here ready to like finally give them my money. Then I notice it's like not there, and the fucking illegals, people are still beating them to the punch. And it's like, you motherfuckers, why are the people who are doing it for free still beating you when you've got the core source files?
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Should we maybe talk about Sanji using the Germa gear finally?
Yes, of course. So, quick question: what do you think of Kaido's Dino Squad with like Page 1 and Drake?
Oh yeah. The dinosaurs is okay.
Not a fan of the dinosaurs.
I mean, they're dinosaurs. They're dinosaur. They're dinosaurs.
One thing I will say that's not helping with the minion variety is the fact that like all the devil fruits are like ghetto zone fruits, and that kind of doesn't lead to the most interesting fights of like I transform into a furry animal person, and now I'm gonna do furry.
Maybe that's why they're called the Beast Pirates, right?
I think that was pretty obvious from the beginning.
Yep.
That's why it's called
that's a good point.
Of the 100 Beasts.
That makes more sense.
But I was satisfied that Oda like gave the payoff and that we finally got to see Sanji's Germa suit, even though I thought he would have like held on to that for a little while.
Yeah, me too. I'm surprised at how fast that popped up.
But I was like pleased. I thought it was a good design, and it's a different power, stealth black. But then of course there's the controversy. Zabul is not happy about.
I'm so fucking tired of that bullshit. I thought we'd left it. I thought we'd left the like peeping in the women's fucking bathroom behind in Thriller Bark. I really did, and I'm just fucking god. Damn it.
Obviously, it's a gag. Sanji's not seriously gonna go through with it. It's like
you don't know. You don't know.
It's just basically a nice.
Thriller Bark was just kind of like
it's a nice nostalgic
a weird level.
continuation of the
Thriller Bark was just like this weird level of sleazy that I just like was uncomfortable with in my One Piece.
Was it just
and it's like they had like an entire fucking arc devoted to like no, but Sanji is actually a good person. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let's just ignore Thriller Bark. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. And then, like, as soon as we pop this fucking suit out of the canister, it's like, oh, great. We're back to this again. Great. Fantastic. It's like this entire character arc never fucking happened. Oh, son of a bitch.
Maybe, you know what? You're actually starting to convince me now about that. I think the whole Sanji, like, he is supposed to be the, he's
supposed to be like
the white knight of women.
It's like he's supposed to be like a white knight, and even if it's like kind of obnoxious, how I don't know, just how much he like puts women on a pedestal and doesn't interact with them like normal human beings. Like it's like he's supposed to be the good kind of chivalrous, and then he does this shit constantly. It's like fucking great. It's like it feels like he's supposed to get angry and beat the shit out of someone who does peep in the bathroom, but instead it's just like great. Now we've got this deal.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be angry at other people peeking in the bathroom. I think he does. I think he does get angry when
he does because he wants to do it, which is really not what I was hoping for.
Well, wait. Correct my memory. Wasn't there a really fucking weird scene in the anime? I don't know if it was in the manga. Where towards the end of Arabasta, where Nami and Vivi are taking a bath, and then like I forget who does the peeping, if it's Sanji, and for some weird fucking reason, Nefertiti Cobra goes with them as well.
Yes. Yeah, that was pretty fucking weird.
What?
It was really fucking awkward.
And then Nami.
I think Usopp was the one who was like encouraging that.
But Usopp's like so largely fucking asexual.
Yeah, but they specifically had like a question about like Luffy and his like fucking nosebleed and asking about it because Luffy is like super asexual. And they asked about it like, yeah, he was corrupted by Usopp. Like, oh, okay, sure, fucking sure.
Because that doesn't, like, the only, like, time Usopp's ever shown even a vague romantic interest was in his, like, introduction arc, and he's never shown that ever again in anyone else, except for his, like, sort of platonic, you know, we're the weakest relationship with Nami, but even that, like, never seems to cross into the realm of, like, you know, any kind of, like, romantic, not that it ever should, but, like, that's why it just seems really out of character.
Usopp still has this thing for his girl at home, basically. So
yeah,
he's waiting. I think he's waiting to go back home and tie the knot with her. Basically, that's my theory about Usopp.
Yeah, I would accept that.
So, how did we devolve to Usopp tying the knot?
We talked about
yelling about
Sanji. So, but overall, though, I like the design for the Soba mask. I thought it was a really cool introduction.
Yeah. Yes. And his fight with the dinosaur guy, pretty fun fight.
Yeah, it was short. Although I'm still wondering what the fuck, like, the benefit of the raid suit really gives him. Isn't Sanji already, like, superhumanly able to, like, absorb damage?
I think it's like extra armor.
Yeah, that seemed to be the benefit of it.
It's extra armor, and they said they specifically said they need to modify it some more. So I assume the fucking anti-grav boots are coming off because he can already fucking fly on his own. Although it was kind of neat to see the extra rocket powered kick that he got out of that. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea that
it was.
I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Okay, go ahead. I didn't feel like it was necessary, but I don't know. I assume Frankie and Usopp are going to tinker with it. We're going to get a new design out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Usopp and Frankie tinkering with the suit and modifying it for Sanji's like specific needs. So that I think I'm looking forward to that. I also really like that how it was like actually also a big character moment for Sanji as well, like accepting the fact that he's part of the Germa 66 in a way.
No.
You know, in a way.
That reminds me. Did you see
he's still self-hating of the Germa 66 and everything?
Because they're fucking Nazis.
Yeah. But at the same time, he's like, but now he's like, it's still, you know, useful piece of equipment.
I'll agree with Goro on one point. Like, it's definitely more satisfying to see him, you know, just use it and say, you know, this is something I can use for good, rather than like 20 chapters of like, oh man, I think I could use this. Hey, do you want me to see if you use this? Nah, I'm not going to use it because of my pride. Versus us, where it's like, you know, it's like a classic Simpsons. When are they going to get to the fireworks factory? Kind of like Chekhov's gun, where we want the payoff.
Okay, I'll accept that. That. Like, but I feel like he shouldn't accept that he's part of the Germa. He should just like, I'm using this, but also go fuck.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. I meant like,
okay.
He's like, normally speaking, like before the whole Cake Island arc, he would have just like disregarded it, be like, I'm never gonna use this ever. But now he's just like, you know, maybe there is some use to this kind of thing.
Well,
he kind of, you know, his character has evolved.
Well, it's also similar.
Yeah,
it's also similar to like Chopper, like way back before Chopper was like, no, don't call me a monster. I don't want to be a monster. But then there's like this little moment I love in you know, Fishman Island, where like Zoro's like, hey, I thought, you know, that was your whole thing, that, you know, being a monster is like really offensive to you. And then Chopper's like, yo, I don't mind being a monster if it's to help out Luffy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fine. But did you see the anime episode where basically Sanji escapes from Big Mom's crew and Germa 66 tries to help him?
Was that like towards the end? Was it recent?
Yeah, that was fairly recent. They basically drew it out and basically padded it with filler so much so that they completely changed the tone of what was happening. But to basically go from like Sanji escaping and Germa 66 just going like, no, we'll help. no, you totally need us. We're totally cool. This totally isn't because you showed us all up and are better than us. And like Sanji just ignoring them the entire time. It's like, okay, cool, fine, sure, you're helping. I don't care. It's like I could just leave on my own, but I guess we're doing this now. And it just changed it to like there's just like the entire episode was basically drawn out so that it looked like Sanji actually needed the help and had these weird moments where he was like upset that people fired a bazooka at him, even though he regularly kicks marine cannonballs out of the fucking air and like gets shot that just didn't happen in the manga and shit like that. So they completely changed the tone of how this was happening, and it was just the most uncomfortable fucking shit to sit through.
Yeah, that
like if you have the episode and you can get just as angry as I was.
In terms of like just making like the sort of like worst adaptation to try and like make it seem like he was like reconnecting with the Germa as opposed to like
yes, it was really uncomfortable. Like I was watching this like I don't remember this. What the fuck is happening? Why are we trying to give the Nazis a redemption arc? Why are we basically making Sanji the damsel in distress? What the fuck is happening? And then I reread the chapter like, oh, they were just padding. they just like took it and they just like padded everything, and the only way they could get away with it is, I guess, depowering Sanji for an entire episode.
To emphasize how afraid Sanji is of fucking lead bullets and bazookas. Which we've seen him kick and shrug off
for like, yeah, which we've seen him shrug off, dodge, and otherwise just ignore on a regular fucking basis. Which then changes the entire feeling of how he gets the fucking raid suit.
Yeah, because I've never really, like, to me, like, I've never really understood how powerful the Germa are supposed to be. Because, like, all the things that the raid suit supposedly gives him seems like shit that we've seen Sanji do forever.
Yeah, like in the manga, it's like, here, you need this, and Sanji's like, why? I mean, fuck you. No, I don't. You just followed me out of fucking Whole Cake Island and then threw a fucking suit at me. I don't need your goddamn help. And then after this, it's basically, he's like, you need this because you were completely helpless the entire time. You definitely need a power-up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I kind of hate that. I could see I would especially hate that because, like, I never got the sense that, like, Sanji was below any of the fucking, any of the siblings.
No, like, that was, like, the entire fucking point is, like, you assholes need a fucking raid suit. Sanji's gonna beat your ass in, like, plain clothes. Like, let's all remember that he kicked Yanji's head in so hard that he needed to, like, go to the doctor and have, like, metal press work done on his exoskeleton.
Yeah, I honestly don't see the raid
like,
suit
he fought
as
Judge
like more
in a
of a power up than
like he fought Judge
character development.
Yeah, like he fought Judge without a raid suit and was holding his own until fucking soldiers intervened. Like I didn't feel like he needed that power up.
No. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't feel like it really gives him like that much that he couldn't do already.
Yeah, like I if it wasn't for the constant weird sexual callbacks, I feel like the invisibility would be kind of cool because that does feel like it's his shtick.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially from Arabasta, right?
Yeah, like he always gets into
Prince
places he's not supposed to and breaks things.
He's always very good at subterfuge. Well, think about it. There was Arabasta. He did it in Enni's lobby, and he also did it with whatchamacallit in Skypiea.
What did he do?
Yeah, like that's a cool
Enni's
power
lobby.
Up. That's a really cool power up. If he like puts that on and just slips in behind the lines and starts breaking shit or destroying important equipment, killing a bunch of mooks to clear a path, shit like that. That would be a cool power up. That would be a nice.
What did he do in Enni's lobby?
I think he like got a switch that lowered a bridge that they needed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was responsible for basically opening the gates so that they could get out.
And what do you do in Skypiea?
He fucked up NL's ship. He stopped.
Yeah. He broke the entire ship.
Oh god!
Like, don't you remember he got that really cool moment where he's like, "Hey, do you have a light?" And then NL shocked the shit out of him and just like prepare to cry, and then just broke the entire ship.
and then he uses the light to like on his puff as a cigarette.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a bad.
So like he keeps having these really cool moments where he like sneaks in behind the line and does stuff. So I feel like that would be like that's an appropriate power up for him, so that he can be invisible and basically sneak attack the shit out of everything.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is. Hopefully, we'll see more of that. Despite the fact that it's like a
it feels like a. Yeah, it feels like a lateral power up for him. It's not like a direct increase in his strength. He doesn't really need one, but it feels like a power up for one of his like I guess secondary specialties.
Yeah, and it is very useful. I did love the design. I love the like black things. I thought it was.
Oh yeah, that looked awesome.
Yeah,
like his suit actually looks really fucking cool.
The transformation thing was like.
You can't have a Sentai series without Sentai transformation.
Now we just need. Frankie to include a laser beam or two.
I was actually kind of hoping that they would like. Make it like a classic kind of double-breasted suit that he can just wear all the time.
That would be pretty fucking badass.
I mean, that would make the most sense, is basically you just take the technology and just kind of modify it a little bit so he can just wear it as a suit.
Well, hopefully he'll get that and lasers. So here's a big question about the most recent events. Do you think that the courtesan, who's probably, what's his name, the little kid's sister, who's 20 years old because Momoske's sister, do you think she's dead? Who was killed by the second tier Yakuza Ichimaru Jin guy?
I don't think she's dead.
Of course she probably isn't. I'm waiting for the chapter where they say, "Oh," and she wakes up and she says, "Oh, you didn't hit my vital areas. You saved me." And it's implied that he's like a good guy because he had the rebellion symbol last chapter.
Yeah, like his allegiance was a little bit mysterious. I feel like in the beginning, but now it seems like he might be secretly a good guy.
That's definitely what it looks like right now. But God damn it, I just want them to like get to either like there are two things that I want from this arc. I want either a really good flashback of Kaido. Or, like, they use that, the Time Girls flashback, and we get, like, a really deep lore flashback that gives us some information that we've been waiting on for the either the polyglyphs or the Void Century.
Yeah, well, we're probably going to get something with the polyglyph pretty soon, because it is locked down deep in the... Orochi's basement.
But didn't they say that like they want the road polyglyph or something, and that's like the one that's really important?
Well, yeah, but I think there is like one of the road polyglyphs down there. It's like a red polyglyph.
No, they said like the red polyglyphs in Kaido's mansion, and then the road the polyglyph that has like information that we want about lore is in the Shogun's mansion.
Oh, okay. So it's a different kind. Okay. Yeah, but like there's really, really important stuff in Wano. And again, this is part of the reason why I feel like Wano is so important. In One Piece. It's just accumulation of so many like different things, like all that eventually going to add up, like with the polyglyphs and wasn't there's something about sea stone in Wano, like
that they could like harvest it or something.
I don't remember, but there is some other important stuff with Wano and like the history of the world or whatever.
Well, we know that like Wano's like connected to the Void Century because it's connected to the polyglyphs. They made the polyglyphs there. We know that Oda has the sitting gun of the girl with the time powers, which is the best, tool you could ever ask for to give us a huge exposition jump. Probably not reveal everything about the Void Century because I feel like he's waiting for like another point to like, tie that into the nature of One Piece itself.
Maybe towards the end of Wano, you do that.
I mean, I will say that like I'm pleased that like it feels like things are moving, at a briskish pace, but like, god damn, do I just want like the good shit? Zavi, did you like the Sheep Man?
Not really, since he hasn't punched himself in the nuts or eaten himself yet.
Why do all the smile users look like they came out of a toxic fucking waste dump? Why do they all look like they...
Because they
that's
did.
The entire point. It's like these are really fucked up, kind of terrible subpar substitutes for the real thing.
It just makes like
they're
yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Although I have to say I do kind of love Chapter is just like that fucking reaction gif that Big Mom always had while looking at fucking Chopper.
What?
Yeah.
where she's like just completely happy. I do kind of love that like Big Mom has like the
this one like I that needs to be a meme. Jesus Christ.
I am enjoying the little Big Mom side trip of like Chopper just leading her around. It's like a fun X Factor. So, but are you guys looking forward to the Luffy prison confrontation where he's going to help save the old man and then he's going to fight Queen?
God, no.
The old man who happens to be the former head of the samurai, right? 100 years ago. Remember? Or 80 years, 80, however long that time jump was that Momosuke was talking about. Was it 20 years ago?
Maybe 20 years. Are you sure? I'll have to double check that. 16
years? I feel like I'm jumping way too far ahead. I think it's 20 years.
That I'm not sure. But I do love that Eustace Kid just broke out on his own. He was just like...
Yeah.
I was hoping they would show that in the manga, like show him actually breaking out, but like, no, they're just on the newspaper, just like, oh, he just broke out.
Yeah. Well, I just love the surliness of Eustace Kid, where it's like he feels like he should be Luffy, and he knows he can't be Luffy, and he's just like pissed about it at everyone.
I love fucking Law and just how little fucks he gives.
I do say one of the best moments of these past few chapters is I love the fact that like Law and Sanji bonded over the fact that they both read the Germa newspaper. And Law was like a little fanboy of the comic. He's like, I always hated the Germa. Me too.
I vaguely remembered that. Yeah. That was like last chapter, right?
Like a chapter or two. Yeah, that made me happy. That was an adorable, cute little moment.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's. It's difficult to break this up into arcs because it really doesn't fucking have one. So let's just give a score over all these chapters in general and how the Wano section's coming. Zavil, what would you give these past few chapters?
I'm gonna go with a 7. I mean, this isn't the worst shit we've ever seen, but there's been some good moments, but I mean, all in all, I am kind of disappointed by I guess the villain so far. It just doesn't really seem to be doing it for me.
Yeah, what was that thing you sent me? You sent me that long text about like about how it all looked like samey, and that was like kind of annoying you.
Yeah, like everything just kind of looks the same. Like, we've had so many interesting and diverse One Piece settings that it just kind of feels, it's like, okay, so we've gone like, there was this island that's not an island, it's basically just like a fuck ton of cypress trees that produce like sap with like bubbles everywhere, and then we go to like this underwater Atlantis island with fish people, and then there's this island that's on fire and half freezing cold, and there's this super science lab, and that's fucking awesome. And then we go to like this land that's literally looks like a giant fucking gingerbread house that kicks ass. It's really interesting. And then we go to Japan.
Which we already kind of did.
You skipped the whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah, no, and then there was the giant fucking elephant populated by furries.
Even before that.
Dressrosa?
Oh, okay.
Dressrosa.
Oh yeah, Dressrosa.
The thing that lasted like a year.
Okay, yeah, that was also kind of drawn out and miserable. But even then, it's like there were like toys wandering around, and there were fucking. I really hate the goddamn dwarves, but I guess we got that shit.
We got the Colosseum. We got Spain.
We got the Colosseum. It's like, yeah, we basically have all this interesting shit happening, and it's like, okay, and now it's feudal Japan. The most generic bullshit. It's basically like if I was going to write something, and then it's like, okay, and then they go to the Wild West. What? Yes, because that is the most creative and important thing that we can be doing right now. It's just like I don't fucking care. Jesus Christ. Oh fuck. It is all kind of samey and a little boring, I guess, visually for me.
Well, it's also kind of weird because, like, you know, the world government and, like, the Marines have, like, you know, they basically have, like, Japanese, you know, kind of style buildings at the Marine HQ. So it's a question is, like, you know, Oda did it aesthetically, you know, because I guess he likes Japan. But in universe, does that mean that, like, you know, the outside world fetishizes Wano and, like, loves the Wano culture so much that they imitate it?
I actually kind of assumed it was more of like there was a common origin, but Wano refused to, I guess, sort of keep in step with the rest of the world, and so the rest of the world kept moving, and basically Wano, like Japan, continued to be an isolationist ethno-state.
Well, that's an interesting theory, and I can sort of accept that.
I mean, it does. There is kind of some support for that, since Oda has taken a couple pot shots at isolationism, which I mean, Japan is or was fairly isolationist up until recently. So, kind of feeling like that's kind of what they're going for. Maybe, I don't know.
Goro, your thoughts, your score?
Well, I have been enjoying Wano a lot. I give it 8.5 right now, but I'll explain. I love all the nuanced details of, like, the backdrop of being in. It's kind of like the opposite of what Savile said. Like what he didn't like about, like, feudal Japan. I really like it because it's like. There's lots of beautiful backgrounds, drawings of the area. It's, you know, the whole ecosystem, or the whole social system in the Wano country feels like a really warped, crazy One Piece version of feudal Japan to me.
Oh yeah, I mean, the background is gorgeous. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I will say Oda. It feels like Oda's assistants have been going, you know, crazy. Like,
oh yeah, no, it's like you can actually like see all the influence from traditional, like Japanese woodcuts and everything else. It's absolutely gorgeous. It just, I don't know. It feels kind of mundane.
Well, it's fun
for what I'm used to out of One Piece.
It's funny that you should mention that, because, like, the two things, like, there's two settings I hate more than anything. I hate westerns and I hate feudal Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I like feudal Japan as a background, but it's
I
guess just not for One Piece.
I just don't like I have a hard time watching samurai films. Like
Really?
I could force myself to, but I have this natural aversion where I just find it really tedious. It just doesn't work for me. And same thing with westerns. I really don't like westerns.
It's probably because they're overdone a lot of the time.
Not really. There aren't a lot of them. It's not like there's samurai films all the fucking time.
Well, in the past there was probably a lot more samurai films, and then that got so repetitive.
Did you sit through 13 Assassins with me? What the hell?
It was like over the top samurai, and it was Takashi Miike.
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of, but it just like right up until the end, it was not really all that actiony.
Well,
and you were the one who suggested it. What the hell?
I was able to overcome it because of the Takashi Miike craziness, but it was definitely forcing myself to.
So what? You don't like the good, the bad, and the ugly?
I don't even think I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly.
What the fuck is going on now?
I'm sure I would enjoy it, but it would be like.
Look, I'm the one who was just kind of bored by like the general setting, but god fucking damn it, like. I even I'm kind of like what the fucking right now. Can
I say also? I mean, before we go on this tangent a little bit more, I just want to say we've been kind of like leading up to Wano for a very long time, like the introduction to Momosuke, Kinomen. Like it's been all leading up to this arc, and I'm really. Like the buildup of the hype, I think, was with those characters, and that's why this arc feels pretty significant to me.
Let me just add something to that thought line. I can understand, because you could say it's like a much more pimped up version of Arabasta and what Oda did with that, where he introduced Vivi with like the whole beginning of the Baroque's work saga, and that was sort of like building up the myth of Arabasta until we got there, and it was like this huge payoff. And he's been doing that even longer because he's had Monosuke and Kinemon and all the ninja and the other guy. Yeah. He started it in Punk Hazard and he's been building it up. But here's a really hard question I'm going to ask you, Goro. Do you like any of those characters?
Yeah. I like Kinemon.
I roughly don't.
I think that's actually it. I think that's actually it. It's like I liked Vivi. I liked.
What about the guy who can just draw these like derpy?
The only thing I like.
Okay, that's the only exception to this rule so far. Is I like that guy.
I like that.
Everybody else has been kind of miserable.
What about the guy who was like guarding the poneglyphs? Who was like this short midget guy?
Yeah, I fucking hate that guy.
I didn't like that guy.
I actually hate literally all the ninjas that have been introduced so far. And I think that's actually part of my problem. Is
the fairest ninja of them all.
Again, I don't like any of these characters. I think that's part of my problem. Is I guess I don't like the setting, and it feels kind of bland because I don't like any of the characters that are native to that setting.
Yeah. I like the guy who draws things, and I love that scene where they're like riding the derpy little thing, and Robin's just like, "That's the cutest thing ever. I love how pathetic and weird it is."
I mean, that guy accepted. It's like Kaido is boring. The ninja are just kind of okay-ish, I guess.
I like the ninja squad from a design standpoint, but they
okay. Then I meant like the good ninja.
Yeah, the good ninjas. They've been boring.
Okay. Well,
Momonosuke is okay.
Kinemon is like done.
Okay. Yeah, they're all just kind of. They're all right. I don't hate them, but I mean, I'm not really thrilled anytime they're on the fucking screen. I don't care. And like that's not something I can really say about a lot of the characters we've been introduced to. It's like Big Mom is terrifying. Katakuri is awesome. Prospero is fucking creepy. Fucking even Clown Caesar is just like he's basically the Buggy of the New World.
Yeah. That's funny because he's a Logia fruit user.
Yeah, Virgo was a stone cold motherfucking asshole with a weird food related quirk that was kind of funny. Doflamingo was a monster. Like it honestly, so far, a lot of the characters that have been introduced to this arc feel like, I guess from a design standpoint, kind of similar to a lot of the fucking characters we got in the Colosseum, where it's just like, I don't care. It like, I didn't care about the Colosseum. It didn't matter. It didn't add anything for me for the entire arc. They could have probably done in half the time. And all the characters that so far have been showing up this arc, it's just like, I don't really care about them.
Yeah, they haven't really gotten any sort of unique feature. And, you know, it doesn't help that, like, Kaido is like this bitch to this, like, stupid Warpole looking motherfucker who is basically, like, superstitious about stupid old myths to the point where, like, even the people who he ostensibly rules don't take him seriously.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't like what the samurai girl. She's you know, the one who looks exactly like Robin. I'm not super invested in any of the like Wano.
Yeah, nobody's really like. Oda really hasn't performed that magical trick he can do that makes you care about characters that you would otherwise just never.
What about
give a
the
fuck
laughing
about.
girl who was
Which one?
Or what about the little girl that Luffy befriended? That
no, that's like your typical shonen child. You could have thrown her in a filler arc.
Yeah, she's pretty mediocre.
Well,
like I feel like that's a lot of it. Is the setting feels bland because so much of the antagonists just aren't really doing it for me, and I honestly, this kind of feels like Skypiea. I thought you were. I forget. Were you pro or anti Skypiea?
I
mean, Enel was cool, but everything else, all of the different priests and all the characters and everything else, was just like I don't really care. And also, Luffy spent an inordinate amount of time trapped in a fucking snake. So
I don't remember. He was trapped in a snake?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. During the whole big survival game. That was the whole big point. They couldn't send him.
How did he get out of the snake?
Punched his way out.
Yeah, he eventually realized he was in a snake because he spent, like, it was at least 10 or so episodes wandering around assuming he was in some kind of cave, and Nami eventually got swallowed and told him he was in a snake, and then went, "What? I'm in a snake?" and then just started punching the snake from the inside, and the snake spat him out, and that's how Luffy escaped the snake. He had someone tell him he was in a fucking snake, and he punched his way out.
Yeah, I was...
Which would have been fucking hysterical if it had only gone on for like 2 episodes or 2 chapters, but if it was drawn out so long that it was just fucking obnoxious. I mean, that was stupid even for Luffy.
That's like Zoro level stupid. Like when Zoro gets lost, like from turning a corner.
Embarrassing. So I guess that's my point. Is just like it feels like Skypiea. Skypiea had the potential to be a fucking awesome setting, but oh man, it just started feeling real samey and boring because none of the lead up characters to that big boss fight felt really important or had me invest anything in them.
Yeah, I think
you know who would make.
I'm sorry.
You know who would make me like really invest in this fucking arc? Like just really kind of like be championing this shit all the way, is if instead of like the fucking asshole who ate the Hydra fruit and is basically just your generic like gross creepy fucking asshole. All right, hear me out. So Buggy has no real superpowers. He's kind of terrible. His only real ability is management.
Keep going.
Like, as a fucking as one of like the 7 warlords of the sea, he actually doesn't really fight anything. He does the actual piratey thing, delegate, and basically set up like a really useful mercenary group, hiding behind his
subordinates.
Yeah, his subordinates, and also his shield that he gets from the world government. So what I would have fucking loved is we basically got a little bit of talk about how the new Marine Admiral wanted to dissolve the seven warlords because he thought it was a corrupt practice. It would have been really fucking hysterical if they actually managed to do that. And basically, while they were distracted in Whole Cake Island and all this good shit, you basically learn that the seven warlords have been dissolved. So Buggy basically freaks the fuck out, goes running, and ends up somehow, convoluted plot bullshit, as Kaido's second in command, which would be a perfect step up for him, because everyone always thinks he's just Super King Big Nuts, the baddest motherfucker ever. And what does Buggy do every time he gets angry? Starts yelling at everyone.
Oh,
including Kaido.
Wait, what if they sort of changed up his origin story? So he was actually born in Wano?
He also even has the perfect outfit for it. If you look at his post time skip ridiculous Admiral Buggy costume, it's fucking ridiculous looking, but would fit perfectly in Wano.
And not just born in Wano, he has royal Wano blood in him.
Yeah. Look, I don't even care what the fuck goes on. All I really want is someone that acts like. Look. Kaido is basically a schmuck. His only power is he can't die. He punches everything.
He punches things really hard.
Yeah, he punches shit real hard. So what I really want is for someone under him to be competent. And God knows the Hydra guy just isn't fucking doing it for me. He doesn't feel competent.
Yeah.
Buggy is hyper competent. It's his only real skill. His only ability, the only thing he can do well is make sure other people are doing stuff to the best of their ability. That's how he fucking manages an entire fucking company based around him telling people what to do. And so just imagine for a second, they show up at Wano, they don't know what the fuck is going on, and Buggy is the guy in charge of making sure everything runs straight and spends half his time basically playing off of Kaido, who is incompetent and drunk all the time, and just yelling at him to actually get shit done. And Kaido, being Kaido, is kind of dumb as hell, but listens to him because he does stuff right.
So it's interesting that you say it, that you explain it like that. I like the idea that he's a second in command kind of character, but I don't know if he should be running Wano for actual, because I like the idea of the person who's actually running Wano to, be kind of like fearless of CP0, be fearless of the Celestial Dragons. Like I like a character that will be like that has those qualities to be.
And I think Buggy could actually pull that off.
Really?
If he had someone behind him.
But he's knowing bullshit. He's terrified of those guys.
No, hear me out, okay? Look, imagine for a second you had to go yell at the Secret Service. Now imagine you had Kaido behind you, and if you told Kaido to go break some face, he would do it.
Okay. All right.
Now all of a sudden Buggy doesn't have to be afraid of anything, because he basically has someone behind him that is the most terrifying motherfucker in the world.
Okay,
and he listens to him. So it's like the world government shows up and he just starts bitching at CP0. It's like, I'll just stab you. No, you won't. Why? Because Kaido's over there and he's drunk. And when he gets drunk, he gets really fucking angry. And he's been itching for a fight, and I've had to calm him down like three times this week. Otherwise, he would have destroyed an entire seaport. But I mean, hey, if you want to start shit, he's right over there.
I'd be a fan of this as because I want Buggy to have a really super awesome moment, especially towards the end of the One Piece series, because he was in the same ship with Gold Roger, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of he was Shanks level, but yeah, Jesus Christ, Shanks is so fucking.
We can't really fathom what Shanks level is. Still.
Yeah.
at this point. He might even be beyond Kaido level.
Well, remember, he was enough to, like, famously in the Whitebeard War, Kaido wanted to attack Whitebeard because Kaido, wanted to fuck around. And then the threat of Shanks with his shitty, horrible character design crew was enough to make, make Kaido run away.
But my God, that shitty character design crew has lasted so long in this
I have so much. I honestly, that's half the reason I love them so much. They look so boring, and everyone is just shitting themselves.
Oda didn't even redesign them. These Lucky Roo is still there with his stupid piece of with his stupid mutton chop in his mouth, and everyone's.
I really hope he just uses hockey to, infuses hockey into it and uses it as a club. That's really what I hope he does with it. I'm gonna be so fucking disappointed if he doesn't.
God, we need a Red Hair Pirates wreck shit scene so badly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. So okay, I already asked Lobster this, but Greg, I wanna pitch this to you and see what you think. All right, so Luffy, you've seen Katakuri's ability, where he basically makes donuts around him, and he uses them to like punch it. He basically that is like awakened.
Oh
Devil
yeah.
Fruit power,
oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was cool, right? And it's so I'm just thinking about what the fuck Luffy is eventually going to do, and it's like, okay, so I guess you can turn shit into rubber, which feels kind of boring if you think about it, because he's already rubber. He's not like he's taking falling damage.
Shit. I'll let you. Wait, 1 second. 1 second. I've got a really cool idea to expand upon that, but finish your idea, and then I'm going to tell you my expansion.
I mean, he can already bounce, so that's kind of boring. So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, okay, what is the most logical thing you can do with somebody that I guess could just manifest rubber at will? Just imagine it: 600 hockey-infused super balls bouncing around. Just everywhere like fucking shrapnel.
Oh, wow.
I'm kind of hoping that is one of his ultimate attacks, is just like an entire fucking room full of bouncy balls going everywhere like fucking ball bearings out of a claymore mine. All infused with hockey.
That would be terrifying.
All right, so I just thought of a way of how that can happen. So what you call it? Most of the Big Mom pirates are there, assuming Katakuri along with Big Mom. Big Mom is now an unofficial ally.
Is Katakuri on the ship with him? I assume he was.
I think he's still injured, probably on Whole Cake Island.
I thought he was out of action.
We'll have to wait and see. But let's, for the sake of argument, assume that he's in there in the hold. We just didn't see him.
Okay.
And he's with bandages. So let's say, okay, like it's 3 days before they have to go attack Kaido's mansion. Luffy knows that as he is now, Gear 4th isn't enough to overcome Kaido. He needs another, he's every time he gets beaten, he, through his stupid little, fucking instinct, simian mind, knows that he needs to power up and get stronger, right? So,
sure.
Katakuri is there. And what if we get like a little mini training arc where Katakuri teaches Luffy how to awaken his devil fruit?
Oh,
okay,
wow.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
That would be so cool.
Because Katakuri respects Luffy, and if he gets the order from Big Mom, and Big Mom is like, kind of a Straw Hat ally, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't.
Well,
yeah, that would
Big
be
Mom
acceptable.
is a temporary ally. Big Mom fucking hates the Straw Hat Pirates. If she gets her memory back.
Look, she might not if she bonds with them, okay?
How is she gonna bond with them when they ruined the
she's
wedding?
being friends with them right fucking now, okay? What if she gets her memory back? He's like, I used to hate you guys, but we've been palling around for at least 10 or 15 chapters. Let's be buddies, or at the very least, I don't hate you enough anymore that I want to kill you. So go on, get out of here, you fucking scamps.
Yeah, I could sort of see that happening. I could see her forging like a temporary alliance or something like that. Like Big Mom is a very simple creature with very simple desires.
She just wants to eat eat everything and
She
fuck
just
the whole
wants
world.
to be Chopper. That's all she wants.
Yeah. And Chopper's doing a pretty good job of keeping her happy.
Yeah.
But so that would be pretty badass. It's like 2 days until the invasion, and then we have like Katakuri saying like, "I respect you, Luffy, as the man who will become Pirate King. Let me bestow upon you bouncy super fighting knowledge."
Sure, why not?
Yeah. So, all right, let me finish it off. I agree with Zavul. I think it's a 7.0 for these past few chapters. I was going to go lower, but then we were kind of like talking about all the like great interactions. And one thing I'm kind of appreciating is I like how each of the Straw Hats are kind of like showing some super competency in terms of like, getting shit done.
Oh, like gathering intel and getting, doing their particular missions.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like doing their subterfuge shit really well. Like Chopper's doing a great job of like getting the Big Mom ally. Brooke is like pretending to be a ghost, which is like a real lifesaver. Robin's getting a lot of intel. Frankie's getting, everyone seems to. No one's doing any incompetent shit. It feels like they're like just humming together like a big team.
Frankie technically fucked up by. He didn't.
It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault for
but
the fucking guy, and he had to go on that little bullshit excursion.
Yeah, he did fail his mission technically.
Well, the one thing I love, Zabul didn't like that, but I kind of love the fact that Frankie, who's obviously a better carpenter than this fucking schmuck, is like just pretending to be an apprentice. And the minute he learns that the guy has nothing to give him, he's just like, fuck it. It's like the way I wish I could be like a boss at Amazon and just like walk out once I have a better job or like my YouTube career becomes viable enough. Fuck it. I don't have to pretend to tolerate your bullshit anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You've sold me on this. Having that now. You win.
That's what I loved. And then he's got to go on this stupid bullshit. And he's like, "Fuck you, fuck all of you. I'm gonna get it because I'm Frankie." But I just loved his like, "I'm done."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, do you guys like the little map of Wano that they did? I like that little map.
That was nice, but it shows. What was the last time Oda did something where it was like, we had the little maps of the Straw Hats and they were over where we had to like know where they are and everything.
Good question.
Probably Whole Cake Island, actually.
Did we? I don't think we got one of those in Whole Cake Island.
Yeah, while they were being chased by Zeus, I think, or
maybe. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was one Whole Cake Island.
That's when real shit's going down in One Piece, when Oda has to like do the little geographic thing with all the little faces around. All right,
yeah, that's cool.
So I think that finishes. Any other final thoughts, gents?
Wano's great.
No, I think that's it.
I think that covered our thoughts about Wano. Still don't hate the series. Yeah. Still definitely positives, but me and Goro's enjoying the art feast and Oda going to town on fucking Japanese culture fun time. Me and Zavul are still pissed about the villains, and we want to be a little bit more something. Like if you can make us love Capone Beje, then work your Oda magic.
Yes. If you could make me somehow care about some jackass that, just give me a tragic backstory involving the fucking guy with the lion dick punching power, okay? Anything at all. Just anything at all, motherfuckers.
You really want to turn him into the Big News Morgan of Wano.
Yes, I do.
Big News Morgan was a beast on his own, though. He's just like he's like a neutral entity that just loves telling the truth in media, like making a big story. Just, I guess you mean in terms of like his character being lovable and ridiculous, right?
Well, Big News Morgan is like the greatest side character of all time because he has this great fucking gimmick and he looks like Big Bird and it's like, oh, big news.
Yeah.
Where it's just like we want to see him. And Zavul, was the Big News Morgan musical number everything you could have wanted it to be?
God, yes.
Big News musical number? Big Northern.
Now go look it up on YouTube. They added musical numbers to Whole Cake Island in the anime.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I fucking love how just stone cold violent Stussy was when we finally found that she was part of CP0. That was amazing.
All right.
Cool.
So I think that finishes all our thoughts. Thanks for hanging out with us. Leave us comments. I like comments. Sorry for like this being so inconsistent. Thank you, Zavul, for like pushing to make this happen. I'm always happy to do these, even when I'm tired. And remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.